What's up, guys? This is Shine Nocthouse, and today I'm doing an UU battle with my friend Vec. And this was a really good battle. I really enjoyed it. There was definitely a lot of mind games played during the game, and I definitely liked it. It was really good. So you're about to see how good the game was. So I'm gonna go right here in the link room, and yeah. So let's start off. Okay, so. This is going to be intense, guys. Vec actually starts off... I start off with my Quillfish. Vec starts off with Pom Pom, his Jumpluff. Now, at this point, I was pretty scared. I wasn't sure what he was going to do. I was pretty sure he was going to do Sleep Powder. So, basically, I decided to switch. Obviously, he's still thinking about what to do. He probably thought that I might have gone for the Sludge Bomb. But I'm not exactly sure, really. I mean, Jumpluff's defense is mediocre at best, so he knew if he predicted the wrong move that it would cost him greatly. So yeah, basically I just switch out to my Venusaur, and he uses Sleep Powder, which is quite a good move on his part. I wasn't sure what to do here. I decided just to kind of burn some sleep turns. And he's obviously thinking here of what to do, and he decides to switch out. Goes into his Girafarig or Jeffrey. Now Girafarig and UU is a monster, guys. Girafarig is not something to be messed around with, especially since Shadow Ball can't hit it since it's a normal type. So he goes for Amnesia, a pretty good setup. I wasn't exactly sure what he was gonna do, but you guys will be surprised here that he's going to actually go for Baton Pass, which I was pretty surprised about. But I guess if you think about it, Girafarig setup usually does contain Baton Pass. So he goes for his Gramble. Not too bad. I go for the T-Wave. Get that Para. Gramble's special defense is mediocre at best, but I wanted to raise my own defenses since I know that Gramble's attack is pretty high. And you're going to see here that he's obviously trying to go for that sleep talk strategy with high special defense, so I can't do anything to him really. And as you can see here, he definitely proves it with me not being able to get that special defense drop. So I'm kind of just trying to keep spamming Psychic just to get his special defense down. But as you can see, here's his return. Even Reflect does a good chunk of damage, actually. I was quite surprised. So basically, I decided to just switch out to Porcupine just to kind of see if I could tank his return to Sandslash. Because if you guys don't know, Sandslash's defense is quite high, so he's actually going to go for the rest. So this definitely tells you that he's most likely running a Sleep Talk set. I'm going to go for the sub just in case if he if he doesn't get the return on me. But as you can see here, he's thinking about what to do. He's thinking. And like I said, guys, definitely this game had a lot of mind games, especially on his part. He was very consistent in psyching me out for sure. And this is definitely why a lot of the matches, or a lot of the turns get so long. So I go for my sub, and obviously here, I wasn't sure what he was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to use Toxic or something like that, but I actually go for the EQ here, and he actually goes for the Surf, which I was quite surprised. I figured he would have gone for something else, because I thought he would have predicted my switch out. Obviously not, so I just go for the EQ. Does actually a good chunk. But I know here I can't take another Surf, so I go into my Puffish. And I guess he's actually deciding to switch out as well, maybe? I'm not sure. Actually, he doesn't, but he does go for the Toxic. Fortunately, my Quillfish is part poison, so it doesn't really do anything. I could have gone for the Spikes, but I kind of figured he would have switched out to his Jumpluff. So if I could hit him with a Sludge Bomb, it would do quite a bit of damage. And it would definitely be damage I would love to get. But he's actually going to switch out to a Sandslash, which I was quite surprised. So go for the Sludge Bomb. It doesn't really do that much. He told me in the chat that he thought his Sand Slash would outspeed my Quillfish. Obviously not though, and as you're gonna see here, Hydro Pump's gonna do quite a chunk of damage. Definitely deals a good amount. He gets to the red bar, and he actually goes for Swords Dance because I guess he thought he would outspeed me, but apparently not. So I should have gone for the Sludge Bomb again, because it would have probably knocked out his Sand Slash, but instead I made an erroneous move by going for Hydro Pump, which as you're gonna see here shortly, it's definitely costed me part of the game for sure. So he's gonna go to his Jump Bluff, and unfortunately I go for the Hydro Pump. Barely does anything to him, and at this point I kind of wanted to go for spikes, but he has Encore, so that's gonna definitely give me some trouble. Go for the Hydro Pump. Does a good chunk, actually not really good chunk, but it still does some damage. At this point I knew I had to switch out, or else I wouldn't be able to really do anything to him. So I'm just gonna go to my Hypno or my Pedobon, and he's gonna actually go for Stun Spore, which definitely is gonna be a damper on my team. So at this point I kind of wanted to go for the T-Wave, just to kind of get that pair on him. And I guess he's thinking. And like I said, guys, as I've said before, there's definitely a lot of mind games in this match. But he goes for the hidden power for whatever reason, not sure why. But I go for the Thunder Wave, so that's definitely gonna be a problem for his Jump Bluff. I guess at this point I just kind of wanted to go for the Psychic, but unfortunately he knew what I was gonna do. But good thing I got fully parried. So at this point I knew I kind of had to switch out, go back to Big Plant, and yeah, I pretty much just gonna see if I can solve him a bit. Goes for a Sand Slash. Yeah, I'm a little bit scared since you know, I'm asleep right now, and if I don't burn these sleep turns, then I won't be able to take out a Sand Slash. So he goes for the Swords Dance. He figures I'm going to be asleep for a long time, and he's probably going to set up a sub eventually anyway. But fortunately, I actually was able to get out of sleep this turn. But like I said, guys, he takes a little while to make his turns moves. But anyways, I'm going to use Razor Leaf. Does a good chunk. Takes out his Sand Slash. So that's the first knockout for me, finally. So right now he isn't doing too well, actually. He goes into his Draft Rig next. I knew my Venusaur couldn't really take it, but I figured he'd predict me to switch out. Unfortunately, he switches back into his Jump Bluff. So at this point, I'm just gonna go for the Roar, just to kind of get this thing out of the way. And I also have Roar and Venusaur for Curse Rest Talk Pokemon as well. Goes back to his Drift Rig. I'm gonna go for the Leech Seed, but he actually goes for Psychic, which does quite a good chunk, as you're gonna see here. I didn't realize it would do this much. So go for the Leech Seed. Now, as you're gonna see here, I'm gonna recover a lot of my. Actually, I'm not gonna recover it this turn, but I am going to actually go into. I'm actually gonna go into. I'm kind of thinking here because his Psychic can do a good chunk of damage. In hindsight, he actually could have gone for EQ if he had it. Anyways, I'm gonna go for my Porcupine. Gonna go for the Psychic. It's gonna do a good chunk, but I'm gonna recover a lot of the damage with the Leech Seed and Recover combo. So definitely, I'm definitely putting a lot of pressure on him, and I'm gonna go for the sub. Figured he'd go for like Amnesia or Baton Pass, but no, he keeps going for the Psychic. So at this point, yeah, I just recover some HP from Leech Seed, and yeah, I go for sub. And I know this turn I can survive another Psychic. So I didn't know if he was going to switch out or do whatever, but he actually went for another Psychic, which surprised me quite a bit. Or it didn't surprise me fully, but it was definitely a good move on his part. Get the Leech Seed. I'm going to go for the EQ. It's going to do a good chunk. I was surprised, though, like, how Giraffe survived that, though. But it isn't super effective, so it kind of makes sense, I guess. Anyways, I'm going to go switch out to my, my Fire Vacuum, or my Magmar. Just going to go for the Psychic. And I know my Magmar can pretty much tank this. But he gets the crit, which definitely puts a damper on me. But fortunately, I had the Leech Seed and Recover, so that definitely helped a lot. Was gonna go for Thunder Punch because I figured he'd switch into his Blastoise. And as you're gonna see here, my prediction is actually gonna be right because he is going to go to his Blastoise. But what I didn't realize is how well this Blastoise would take this T-Punch. So even a super effective move can sometimes not be the best. Anyways, I was gonna go for another T-Punch again, but I wasn't so sure if it would take out Blastoise. So I decided to go into my Buzzman because I knew, or Buzzboy, because I knew it could easily take a Surf from Blastoise since Blastoise's special attack isn't the highest. So yeah, I take that pretty easily. At this point, I just go for the T-Bolt. And you guys are going to see here how easily he predicts this. He goes into his Love Bot. And this is where the troll starts coming in. I did not know that Chansey had this one move that you guys are about to see. But first, I'm going to go for the Cross Chomp. Because I knew if I could get a crit, it would definitely take out his Chansey. And it does quite a chunk of damage. I was thoroughly surprised. But yeah, he goes for Heal Bell, and that kind of sucked for me, because now his Jumpluff and all of his other Pokemon are no longer affected by status elements. So I figured he'd go to his Jumpluff. My prediction was right. He actually did switch into his Jumpluff. Go for the Ice Punch. I was hoping it would knock it out. But as you guys are going to see here, unfortunately it doesn't. But it does get him to the low yellow bar. At this point I knew his Jumpluff could outspeed my Buzz. So I decided to go back into my Venusaur, because if he decided to make it asleep again, I could kind of survive that. And anyways, fortunately it didn't affect him this turn. So, sorry guys, I'm going to go for Roar, just to kind of get this nuisance out of the way. He's thinking. I'm not sure what he's gonna do. He actually switches and he goes into his Gramble. Fortunately, I roared it out. Goes into his Chansey. I think here I was gonna go for the Leech Seed. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I actually did go for the Leech Seed. Unfortunately, it missed. But now I know an extra move that he has, which is Seismic Toss, which is good because I was afraid he was carrying a T-Bolt or Ice Beam, so I was kind of happy he carried that instead. So I decided to switch out into my, actually I didn't decide to switch out, I decided to go for Leech Seed. But he switches out back into his Jumpluff, which I did not like, and as you can see here, he's definitely playing a lot of mind games for sure. Go for the Reflect. But first he scores the Para, which is definitely going to put a hamper on me. The reason I went for Reflect is just in case if he went back to his Gramble or to his Sandslash. Not his Sandslash, but you get what I mean. So anyways, I'm going to go for a Roar again. But unfortunately, as you can see, the Troll Jumpluff, he uses Encore, so I have to keep like spamming Reflect, I guess. So he's slowly but surely recovering health. I go into my Pedomon again, or my Hypno, because I know that even, he couldn't really paralyze my Hypno anymore than he already has. So I'm going to go for the T-Wave, just to kind of like paralyze this thing again. I guess he's kind of thinking of what he's going to do. I mean, Jumpluff really can't do anything to my Hypno. So he's actually going to go to Love Bot, and as you can see here, I'm going to definitely paralyze it. So this is definitely going to put a hamper on his team. And here I decided to go into my my Quillfish, just because I knew that his only offensive was what is it, Seismic Toss, and even if he switched out to his Jumpluff, I could still hit Sludge Bomb on both of them. So I knew that any of his switch-ins would be detrimental to my Sludge Bomb. So yeah, I decided to go for that, and I guess he's kind of thinking. He's probably a little bit worried. So yeah, he goes into his Blastoise thinking I'd probably go for like a Hydro Pump maybe, I'm not sure. Go for the Sludge Bomb. Does a good chunk. And yeah, so he probably can't survive another of those Sludge Bombs. And maybe he thought he would outspeed my Quillfish, maybe, I'm not so sure. Anyways, he actually decides to switch out to his Gramble. Go for the Sludge Bomb. And fortunately, I got a crit on him, and I got the poison. So the best case scenario happened for me for sure. At this point, his Gramble doesn't really pose a threat as much because I knew my Sludge Bomb could pretty much get into the red. But I'm surprised here when he actually uses Curse. Not sure why. It's kind of I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe he thought he could survive the poison? I mean, I would have gone for Return or EQ personally, but I guess he didn't. So anyways, he goes into his Giraffe Rig. And at this point I knew my Quillfish couldn't tank anything from Giraffe Rig, so I decided to go back to Pedomon. He's gonna go for the Psychic, but obviously Hypno can eat it up. The only thing I was afraid of is if he had a Shadow Ball, because even though Hypno's defense is higher than Alakazam's, it would still do quite a chunk of damage. So yeah, I'm kind of just thinking right now what to do. Wasn't sure if he would go back to his Jumpluff, but no, he actually uses Amnesia. Go for the T-Wave, paralyze that Giraffe Rig. But unfortunately, I can't really hit him with anything from Hypno, because that thing is part normal, so Shadow Ball wouldn't work. So, go for my Buzzboy, because I knew it could pretty much take anything from Giraffe Rig, but he keeps going for Amnesia. I guess he's just being careful in case if I go for Ice Punch. I do go for the Ice Punch because I still kind of wanted to scare him out. You know, I wasn't sure if he was going to go to his Jumpluff or not, but he actually does with Baton Pass, so that was definitely good on his part. I probably should have gone for the Cross Chop, honestly. So yeah, I decided to go back to my Big Plant since that Pokemon's already para'd and all that, and Leech Seed also doesn't affect it, so that's good too. But I guess I'm kind of wondering what his hidden power was. It might have been hidden power Grass. I'm not exactly sure though. But obviously his Jumpluff can't really touch my Venusaur or Hypno since they're already affected. But he's kind of thinking a lot, I guess. And like I said, guys, this is why I said there were a lot of mind games. We were both really using our heads a lot. So yeah, he goes for the Stun Spore, but fortunately my Venusaur is already para'd. So he's actually going to, I'm not sure if he's going to switch out or not. But anyways, I'm going to go for the Roar. And he goes into his Chansey and uses Roar, and this is the funny thing. And then his Jumpluff comes back, and I guess he was fine with that because he could get an extra turn of healing his Jumpluff. So yeah, that was definitely good on his part. Gonna go for the Roar again. I don't know why he went for Stun Spore. Maybe he thought I was gonna switch out or something. Maybe he thought I was gonna go into like Buzz or whatever. But now I'm actually gonna go to Pedomon because I'm gonna try to paralyze this Jumpluff again. So he actually switches out too into his Love Bot, and this is definitely a bad switch in because I know he could go for his Heal Bell. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go for my Quillfish. Because I know even if he uses Heal Bell, it's not going to do any damage to me. And Quillfish can obviously outspeed his Chansey. So, at this point, I knew his only offensive attack was Seismic Toss. So I just decided to go for, I think it was Sludge Bomb or Spikes. I'm not exactly sure. You guys are going to see here in a moment. I think what happened is, yeah, I went for the Sludge Bomb, and I didn't realize he would have a recovery. I guess I forgot Chansey had Soft Boil. So as you can see here, obviously, he's going to try to stall me out with Soft Boil. Kind of a good strat and kind of not, because if I get a crit or if I poison him, that's definitely going to put a hamper on him. So I don't think that was the smartest strategy, but it was definitely a good stall effort. I'm going to go for Spikes because, you know, if you decide to switch into Blastoise or something, I could just take it out with Spikes. He's going to go for the Seismic Toss, which doesn't do too much. I mean, it does 100 damage, but since it doesn't have a crit factor or anything, I know I can obviously take these Seismic Tosses with no trouble. So I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb again. Does a good chunk. I knew at this point I could pretty much just wait for a crit or a poison and just win that way. And you can see here how much damage he's trying to get on this Quillfish. Anyways, I go for Sludge Bomb again. Does a good chunk. And I think here, I might have got the crit here. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I think I actually got the crit here. Yeah, I did. So no more Soft Boil shenanigans. So at this point, he's definitely screwed because he no longer has the Heal Bell to get rid of the paralysis. So that's definitely going to put a hamper on him. So yeah, I'm just going to go back into my Petalmon, because if I compare it one more time, then it's definitely going to be a lot of trouble for him. He goes for the Sleep Powder, probably thinking I was going to go for Buzz or Magmar, but obviously I didn't. And then I'm gonna go for the Thunder Wave, and yeah, I guess here he may have just wanted to stall me out with Hidden Power, and you can see here he does. It doesn't do too much though, so at this point maybe he's just he's praying that he can keep getting my Hypno Para. So at this point, he goes for Hidden Power again. Deals kind of nothing. Go for the Thunder Wave, para him. And at this point, his Jumpluff is on near death row. Because, you know, a paralyzed support Pokemon can definitely be a bad thing. So I go for my Quillfish. I wasn't sure what he was going to do here. I was hoping for another Hidden Power Grass. But fortunately, I'm going to be able to actually do major damage to his Jumpluff with Sludge Bomb. Since Jumpluff's defense is pretty mediocre, so I knew it could do quite a chunk. And it does. And here he goes for the Stun Spore, but it missed. So I was kind of in a really good position here, because I knew my Quillfish could pretty much knock out his Jumpluff with simply a Sludge Bomb. So yeah, I go for the Sludge, and yeah, he only has like 2 more Pokemon, I believe, Girafarig and Blastoise. This Blastoise is not going to survive because of Spikes. So really, honestly, he only has Girafarig left. So right now, he still has not knocked out any of my Pokemon, so I'm like in a pretty good position. I'm gonna go for the switch. Going to go for Hypno. He's going to go for Psychic. Not sure why. Maybe he was thinking I was going to something else. I'm going to try to para that Girafarig, just so I can outspeed him with all my Pokemon. So here he's actually going to go for EQ, which I was surprised. Maybe he was hoping that I would switch into Buzz or Magmar. But as you can see here, I'm just tanking all of his attacks with Girafarig, kind of scouting him out. I'm just going to go for the Reflect here, just so even if he uses EQ on Magmar or Buzz, they could still survive it with ease. So yeah, I'm going to go for the Reflect. And at this point, I knew I could pretty much sweep his draft rig. So I would have gone to Magmar, but I wasn't sure if it would survive 2 EQs. So go for Buzz instead. He goes for Psychic actually, which I was quite surprised. Doesn't do too much damage. Does a good chunk though. At this point, I'm just gonna go for T-Bolt. It's gonna do a good amount. And yeah, he's gonna go for EQ. I don't know why, because I have Reflect. He could have probably done more Psychic, but yeah, I guess to each his own, I guess, as they say. So I knew pretty much one more T-Bolt would take him out. And yeah, guys, this match is about to come to a wrap. You're gonna see here his draft rig goes down actually. And as you're going to see here, his Blastoise is going to lose because of spike damage. So yeah, guys, what did you think of the match? Did you think it was good? Do you have any tips? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, guys, I thought the match was great. I thought Vec was a very good player. He definitely had a lot of mind games. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching the video, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.